Hey, boys and girls, in this lesson, we are going to be talking about finding the central message. The central message is the main message that the author wants you to leave the story with, the main thing or the lesson that the author is trying to teach you. So, this story is called Breathe Out. And here we have a picture of a bull and a frog. And then another thing I want you to notice is you have some bolded words. So lily pad is in bold, ox is in bold. Actually, I said that was a bull. I guess that's an ox. Gigantic is in bold, puffed, and there's a few on the other side. All right, so let's get started reading Breathe Out. All right. A bullfrog was sunning herself on a lily pad. An ox stopped by for a drink of water. The bullfrog had never seen an ox. She was very excited and hopped away to tell her brother all about it. He was the largest beast I have ever seen, she said to her brother. Her brother said, I'm not impressed. I can be gigantic too. So I want to pause there a second. This is giving me some things to inference. Her brother's huffing and puffing, and then he says, I'm not impressed. I can be gigantic too. The brother is feeling jealous. All right, let's see what happens next. He took a deep breath and puffed out his chest. Now, why did he do that? Why did he puff out his chest? Well, the sister said that the ox was the biggest beast that she had ever seen. So the brother's jealous and he's trying to show her that he can be big too. There, he said proudly. I'm sure that he wasn't larger than this. So this tells me that the brother had never seen an ox, because if the frog brother had ever seen an ox, he would never imagine he could also be that big. His sister rolled her eyes. So she's like, you don't know what you're talking about. He was much bigger than that, she said. Really? He asked. He was surprised. So he's surprised that he, puffing out his chest, is not as big as an ox. So that also tells me he's never seen an ox. He took a deeper breath. His stomach and chest grew big. I doubt he was as large as this, his sister yawned. He was so big his hooves left huge holes in the mud. Uh-oh. His hooves left huge holes in the mud. Her brother took an even deeper breath and he puffed out his abdomen. All right, does anybody know what that is? That's his stomach, his chest, and his back. Surely he wasn't as big as this, he croaked. So he's still jealous and he's still trying to show his sister that he can be as big as that ox. His sister gulped a fly. He was so big that he blocked out the entire sun, she said. Truly, said her brother. He inhaled his biggest, deepest breath he could, and his whole body puffed up. He croaked. No animal could be this big. His sister finally took a good look at her brother, and he looked like a round, ripe watermelon with 4 little legs, probably like this over here. Her eyes bulged in alarm, so her eyes got really big. Exhale, brother, breathe out or you'll explode. So he's risking his life just because he's feeling jealous. He is being prideful. It was too late. With a loud blam, the bullfrog fell backwards off his lily pad and plopped into the pond. His sister dived into the water and hauled him back to the surface, and as she bandaged him, she said, I hope you have learned a lesson, brother. It is best to be happy with who you are. So the brother was trying to show his sister, frog was trying to show his sister that he could be as big as this ox that she saw. But in the end, he almost got very, very hurt because he was being prideful and he was trying to be somebody that he was not. So let's look at this graphic organizer that says central message. What do you think the author was trying to teach us in that story? I think he was trying to teach us that you should always be yourself. Don't try to be someone else, because the frog brother was trying to be as big as the ox and he almost hurt himself really badly. All right, key detail. Well, let's think about this. I think the first detail is that it doesn't impress others. Sister rolls her eyes at him. And then the other thing is you can get hurt trying to be someone or something you are not. Now, in the real world, if you're trying to be someone or something you're not, you may not get physically hurt like the bullfrog, but you may get your feelings hurt. Okay, and so a lot of times authors will use animals to teach human lessons. And in this story, it was trying to show us that the frog was not being himself, and in the end, he got hurt.